Okay, we should start. All right, so we're concluding the Maimer. So now it's two diukim in the pasuk, the toil of your hands that you eat. So ashrecha v'tov lach, says the pasuk, fortunate to you and good for you. So the first diuk is that Yegiah, this toil required. And even that is explained on three levels. First of all, because a person is judged every day, notwithstanding the fact that the judgment in general, h'tשכ, the h'tשכ, is determined already Rosh Hashanah and then Yom Kippur. It comes down in a differentiated way, Ne'ilah, but it's still too transcendent necessarily to translate materially and physically, as the Maimon explained in detail, the process. So that's one reason for Yegiah, a person's involvement daily. Baruchnis, he's judged every day. One needs to request it every day. And the beautiful story with Rabbi Sova in the Zohar, who davened, even though his food was in his home, because his tefillah was that the chesed, the h'tשכ, that he feel that is all because God desires and wants him, and wants to did it b'tachtonim, and this is the kavanah elyoina. That's what he's davening for. They should feel when he eats his bread, and that's the meaning of Hazon Sa'ilam b'tuv b'chein v'chesed v'rachmim. If we're already praising God, what was the question there? If we're already praising the Eibishter for what? Somebody?
We're already praising him for the sustenance. Why specify the chesed, and why single out the lechem?
Right. Sustenance is already chesed, because chesed, the answer is, we just said this second. What's the answer? Chesed, we say chesed, chein, chesed, rachamim. In Bichas Hamazon, what are we referring to?
That and it should be like it should embody the chesed of h'tשכ, that it doesn't come as like a means for an end, like the rest of the world is just to feed the hungry, quote unquote. But the whole kavanah of dir b'tachtonim is mamshech in the bread.
So one should feel it in the bread that this is part of a relationship with God, not just existence that comes from God. Not just sustenance that comes from God, but integral to the relationship with God. That's the critical difference between the rest of the world and the way what Rabbi Yegiah is asking and wants to feel the truth. That it's part of God's desire, a relationship, not survival, a relationship. Not a means for an end. You can't live if you don't eat, so God provides food. No, this is part of the relationship. So when your wife makes dinner, supper, so there's two ways to eat it. One is, well, we don't eat, we'll starve, so that's just a moment. You acknowledge, you can say thank you for food on the table, because you're hungry, because I'm hungry. That's how the rest of the world eats, as it were. But that's what you would say to the waitress in the restaurant. In a restaurant, when you eat and you say thank you, what are you saying thank you for? Even though you paid for it, but you're a gentleman, a decent person, you say thank you because you were hungry and it was a good meal and you enjoyed it, whatever. When you say thank you to your wife, it's a completely different thank you. What's the thank you? You made this because you love me. And this meal should be part of the relationship with her. It's not just we're eating because we need fuel in the stomach to live, or because we enjoy food. This moment is a relationship. It's a special moment that we're sharing together. Thank you. And I thank and appreciate that you love me and you bothered to make this dinner. It's thank you. Is it clear? It's a special moment that you share together. And wow, you took all this trouble because you love me to make this dinner, this lunch, this sandwich, whatever it is. That's what you're appreciating in the food, that she made it, not that food. And why did she make it? Because she loves you. That is what chesed atik means, right? And what's the dik in the lechem? We're just reviewing what we learned, right? What's the dik in the lechem? But that point, that it comes all the way down, that chesed atik is nimshach in this specific moment of a breakfast. Every moment of my life is precious to God, and God wants to be part of it and is invested in it. Wow, thank you. I'm so grateful. And that's the dik of Yegiah Kapecho. So it has to be the Yegiah. Number one is everyday poshet, the avodah, to be mamshich, the inyan, the brachas taka, determined on Rosh Hashanah, but how it's going to translate is not. So that has to be every day reevaluated. A lot is implied here, reevaluated. What are you asking for every day? You're judging yourself. And heaven judges you accordingly. Where do I stand? What's important in my life? What am I asking for today? For sure, you're asking for panasa. There's no question about it. But why are you asking for panasa? That's the judgment. Perhaps we could suggest, he said before that what could happen if without the judgment? So it remains in the ruchnis to complain, right? So perhaps the request kind of is that, yeah, I'm asking for gashmis, but my gashmis should reflect the ruchnis, that it's all for part of the connection and the purpose. He wants to bring that into the piece of bread that he eats, to sense that in his daily engagements. And the second, that's one diak in Yegiah. That's the person being judged. The second diak in Yegiah is that a person's got to engage the world, got to work hard, like Yaakov worked b'chol koich, and it's a halach in Shulchan Aruch, that a person has to work with every ounce of energy for his employee. Why? Because to elevate the world, you've got to be engaged in it. Can't do it from an ivory tower. Torah has come down to elevate the world, bring Torah there. The Shviras HaKelim, the Tusik Dusha fell deeply into the world. As you pointed out, these two biurim of Torah and Shviras HaKelim are Torah and Yidden, because he says Shviras HaKelim is at the avodah of the Jew to elevate the sparks. Bereishis b'shvil HaTorah b'shvil Yisrael. That's what he's saying here. And the third diak now in Yegiah is the diak Kapecho. Your hands, you're working with all your koach, but it's still only your hands. You're not invested in terms of your inner self. It's a keli, it's a means for an end, it's an avodah. So you have, your life is deeply serene in essence, despite all the travails of life and the ups and downs. Because the Davish is the provider. So why am I doing all of this? Because I need to bring godliness and reveal him in all of this. That's the point of it. So it's kapecha. I'm externally, therefore, my inner will, desire, I don't get high blood pressure, God forbid, and heart trouble. That's in where I really worry. I don't understand the mind, but that's my real worry. I don't understand the piece of Gemara. That's what keeps me up at night. Not the deal. I mean, easy for me to say. I'm just telling you the way, but not the deal. It's going to or not going to. That's in the Abish's hands. I did everything I have to do. And if it doesn't work, we'll try something else. But he does so with equanimity. That's Shavisya Shel Negdi Summit, which actually means a little bit different, but that's the idea. The idea is, that's what Atzmi is, even more than the Pnimi. Wherever he is, just you got to do what you got to do under the circumstances, which God determines, not me. I make the kelim everywhere, do the best. And Mendel is such a beautiful example, whether it's in Siberia or London at Yisrael, it's the same with Mendel. No hero, not crushed. Chassid. Sense of humor intact. 17 years in the Gulag. That they couldn't break his panemius. Because his panemius remained the same. There's an Abish to here, there. I'm just doing what I have to do, wherever I'm placed. And he did it with Yegiah. He worked hard. Back-breaking labor. Cutting timber in the Siberian forests. Let's continue the Maimer. So he knows, we said, but number 21 in the text, so it's halfway down the Ois. He knows that he's like the axe in the hand of the wood chopper. They continue from there, number 21, Kashes Askos. Now comes the Medidike word. So Kashes Askos, so the Rebbe always concludes with Pasha Brachas Begashmias. Well, that's the Kavanah, you know. There's a word from the Rebbe Rashab. I think it's in Torah Shalom, but I didn't see it. But I heard it from Abba Pliskin, that he once said, "Who do you think is going to bring Mashiach? The Aramalite, the poor, the Gvirim will bring Mashiach, the wealthy ones." It's a very shocking statement. Money, you can money buys Mashiach. What does he mean? But he means exactly this. First of all, Pasha, the Gvirim, they're giving money and building business and supporting Chabadas, yeshivas, and so on, and doing good. And change the world, you need money. Because why? Because that's the whole point. To reveal godliness in the world. And money makes the world go round. So God's got to grant Eden lots of money. Somebody put it, Panosa is for the Goyim. Ashiris is for Eden. He has to be wealthy. It's God's partner in transforming the world. We need the resources. So Rebbe concludes with Gvaldike bracha. But the bracha, the channel for the bracha is everything we're describing here. Where a person sees himself for what he truly is. He sees the axe. The Abish is chopping the wood for the fire. For the oven. So in the text again, after number 21, so when his involvement in the world is the way we describe it now, Yegiah Kapecho, he's not invested internally, but with all of his koyach, but externally, right? We're clear what that means. As a mesid and mevatel, it's called advarim, he removes and neutralizes everything. That could prevent prevent the panasa from coming down. It's the old paradox. The keli for lots of panasa is when you don't care about the panasa per se. And the whole thing is a means for an end. If it's all a means for an end, for the shlichus and the avodah, to make dira b'tachtonim, then that's the keli to get a lot of it, get lots of it. Pashit, you made room for it by putting your own agenda aside, but you can pour it in. Please, excuse me, says God, make room, let me in here. And the effect, what the effect says that even down in this physical world is revealed. He reveals Haliki, he reveals the divine godly source. It's because I love you, I want a relationship with you. He reveals godliness and sanctity in the world. Everywhere he goes, he's making the world a dira b'tachtonim, he's revealing the Eibishter there. And he's respected because that's what's expected of him by the world also. The world looks at him and says, you're not like everybody else making your parnasa. Jews are not judged by the rules that everybody on the planet is judged by on any single level, politically, economically, geographically, historically. None of the rules apply to you. Because you're chesed da'atik, you're megala chesed da'atik. Elikus, there's an Eibishter and he wants a relationship in the world. That's what you're all about. And when we embrace that, then the world has figured us out, understands the tensions that it's been feeling with us and having with us all of this millennia that makes us suspicious and foreign and different and threatening, because the world feels that we're a threat. We're bringing something that's going to, till we don't say it, it's going to control them. Jewish conspiracy controlling the world. This is what everybody's saying. The world chorus now. And yeah, so time to embrace it. But I don't want your money. I don't want your women. I want you to live a godly life and know that this whole thing is dira b'tachtonim. That's our message. Which the world is demanding from us. It won't settle for anything else. Because we're just not part of the scene. We're not stam hazon nesoilim. We're b'chesed. Not about survival like everybody else, live and let live. Statehood like everybody else. They don't buy it for a second because it's the biggest sheker in the world. It's the biggest sheker. Then we continue the maamar. Yegiah Kapecho k'fich. So the pasuk says, if you eat the Torah of your hands, we're explaining the Yegiah, Kapecho, the diukim, the three levels of Yegiah we explained now. Someone repeat them? Three meanings of Yegiah. One, well, Yegiah Kapecho. Yegiah, and Yegiah Kapecho. First level is, no. Huh? We're being judged, you're on trial. You're engaged in the process of the bakosha. Secondly, Yegiah, it's Yaakov, no? It's got to be
like b'chol keiche.
B'chol keiche. And the third dik, Yegiah Kapecho,
is
your hands, Kapecho. What if you're a computer, you're a businessman, not working with your hands, except for the computer?
is not involved. He knows, and then the day he's an axe, and he's doing everything he can physically, but he knows the result. And the Indian, this is up to Hashem.
So what has he not invested? What's he not investing in his business? He's putting all of his koyach and his intelligence. He's working hard. B'chol keiche, that's the halacha. But what's he not investing?
I mean, he's not investing his fear and doubts on this. His worries.
His inner rotzen, his inner will. This is a means for an end. This isn't the end of. Yeah, and that means fears and doubts. His business does not define him. It's not who he is. It's what he does. Who he is a yid and shlichus to make a dira b'tachtonim. Yeah. So if that's the way we go about engaging life and livelihood, so on this the pasuk says, "Ashrecha v'toivlach v'darsha chazal." What's a double expression? Fortunate to you and good for you. Saying the same thing twice. No, says Chazal, Ashrecha be'olam hazeh. Fortunate to you, Pashat, in this world. Number one, yeah, Panosa Bar Chava. because you get out of the way and you allow God to give you. Number two, fortunate you in this world, you don't have high blood pressure and you don't get a heart attack and you're not screaming at your wife and kids because things aren't going well at the business and then a miserable, angry, wretched life. Ashracha, you had pleasure to be around. No matter what's happening in life and the vicissitudes of life and the challenges of Parnasa, you're still a pleasure to be around you because you're calm. You're calm and you're humble and you're not irritable because God's the provider and I'm just making the keli. So you don't take responsibility. If you don't take responsibility, this is a healthy not taking responsibility. I'm not taking responsibility for the outcome. That's in Eibishter's hands. And whatever's meant to be is going to be. So Ashracha, this person is a pleasure to be around. He enjoys life and Begashmi, it's a long life because his health, his physical health is so much better. Blood pressure, etc., God forbid, and heart problems. Doesn't suffer from this. And good for you, Leilam Haba. As the Rebbe spells out, h'tשכ b'Eilam hazeh, fortunate you in this world, the fish mevar is now but a little bit deeper. Yeah, h'tשכ b'Eilam hazeh, the fish ha'esek, the words of the Maimon, listen. B'panos eloi tiris v'daiges, as you said, Yankee, he is fortunate to you because he's not full of worry and concern, relies on God. But it's fortunate, it's like it's an enviable life. The world would. How do you live like this? I know you're struggling a little bit. It's not easy. You're working hard. And the other flip side also, he doesn't get all excited when he makes the deal. Like his whole life is now he's on a high because there's no lows and there's no highs. For Gashmi is bigger things. For Ruchen is bigger things here. Nachas and his learning and his chassidus, that's when he gets excited. That's when he's engaged. That's when he takes things to heart. His own avoid it takes to heart. His own standing he takes to heart.
What about like the human aspect, meaning automatically something successful, you're happy. Something goes south, you're not. Obviously, there's the extreme and the not sleeping.
Yeah. Of course, he's pleased. But the main emphasis is thankful. He's thankful. And when things go south, he's hopeful. So there's emotional response. But it's all pointed into you're in charge. So thank you and hopeful tomorrow you will provide. He doesn't blame himself. Take responsibility, which he shouldn't be, and get sick over it. Yeah, but I lost the deal and it doesn't get sick over it. And it's not his nachas when it goes well. It's great. There's gratitude and trust and hopefulness that tomorrow will be a better day. That's how he lives. Is that somewhat clear?
Huh? Yeah.
It's a good for you in the world to come means you're making this world the world to come. The fish and bavaras and itzutzis instead is making this world Eilam Haba. Good for you, Begashmias. You're living a good life, my friend. Healthy life. And that's Ashracha. You're elevating the world. You're making this world Gan Eden, the Dira. He elevates his sparks of elevates him to this source. And that's what's meant by the world to come. It doesn't mean the world to come after 120 years in paradise in Gan Eden. It means the world to come that is refined. Shezeu in Yonah Shalom Haba. So because he refined the world, so he's making it the refined, elevated, translucent world that will reveal Hashem. And that's what Eilam Haba means. Nikra Eilam Boro, it's called a clear world. The famous Gemara over there that Yeshua ben Levi's son almost died, and they asked him, what did he see? And he said, I saw an opposite world. That people that are held in high regard here are held in low regard there, and people Many that are held in low regard here are held in high esteem there. Which his father said, you didn't see an upside down world, you saw a clear world, Olam Borer. That's you saw the true perspective. That's what he's saying. We elevate the sparks, we bring the truth to this world, reveal the emes lamata. And he makes the world a world where there's nothing that is pselis, is residual and rejected. Everything reflects godliness, everything has its place. It's a beautiful, harmonious world, great symphony. Al derech hamon, like the manna, for which there was no excess, there was no rejection, there was no waste. She'enivla be'ivod was absorbed in the limbs of Yegiah b'pselis klal, and there was nothing rejected. So he's saying, Shalachein, therefore, this Maimon Chazal, they were not given the man because they were already living in a world where there's no pselis. We didn't do that to the world yet. The world you're living is as a spiritual world where there's no rejection. We still got to bring the world to manna, to that state. Given Torah has to elevate the world, and then it'll be like manna for everyone. But you guys are having it right now because you're in an otherworldly place. And therefore Torah you're not the ones implementing Torah's mandate. Clear? We'll get there, but that's going to be with the world, not in the desert, cut off from the world, living on a heavenly spiritual plane, not engaging. They didn't engage. That's not the kavanah. Torah is to engage the world and bring the sense of manna to the world, which is why it's on your table Friday night and Yom Tov, the Lechem Mishneh, as a reminder of where we're going of all of this. It's to recognize that the bread on my table is manna from heaven. And I revealed that in a world that was resistant, starting in my own resistance. That's what your Lechem Mishneh is. In the desert, it was clear that it's manna from heaven, but that came at no price of avodah, no engagement. The world wasn't part of that. It was in a secluded, transcendent, controlled environment, the midbar, the manna. But here, a Yid brings that emes into the world. He's mevader, and the food on his table is his manna, as it were, his chal is manna. It's all expressive of chesed atik, if God loves you, wants you, and is revealed. You have revealed him in this place, in this time, in this moment. Concluding the Maimish, now he's add something at the end. You need to look up the source. Even the man was a test. It was like a testing ground. Will it be successful? Let's see how they deal with the man. And that's going to be the test, whether it was a critical preparation, whether they'll be able to go out in the world and do the job. What's the test? Push it. Are they going to hold for tomorrow? Because all you're getting is for today. So are you seeing even the manna? Even there was the test. Is this Eibishter providing? Yeah, but maybe not tomorrow. But he said he's going to, but just in case, we'll put some away. So the manna tested. The manna was the testing ground for how we're going to go out in the world and bring the truth of the manna min hashamayim to our daily engagement. Like the Torah says, that with manna was given the manna naseno. Hashem says to test you. Are you going to implement my Torah or not? Let's see how you deal with the manna now. Is there trust? Are you really seeing that I'm the provider? And what you got us for today and tomorrow you don't see it? But you total trust because I told you or not? Or you're going to put away? So this is the testing ground, the manna, for if you're ready to bring the inyan of the emes of what the manna is in your engagement. Explains there, that's basically what he says there. That's in Pashtus Inyanim. It was the testing ground. We understand, right? It's clear? Yeah. How was the test? Putting away for tomorrow or not? Well, you trust and you recognize he is the provider. So now let's look at, friends. Okay, we're starting Maimon tomorrow. Let's look at the Teichen Yonim. I sent it to you. For those of you sitting in MTC, it's on the table. So let's read the Teichen Yonim. Where is it? Yegiah Kapecho, excuse me. Let's read it together. I'm Shocha Shebrosh Hashanah B'chinas Chesed Da'atik. So Rosh Hashanah is Chesed Da'atik, which means God says, I want you. Sheyochel is Pashit B'lishir Gvol. How's it going to manifest? It's undefined, endlessly. Vein by Tzia Prati. Rosh Hashanah is just, I love you. And the translation of that is, you're part of it. You're going to translate how that is in accordance with your matziv on every single day. Our relationship is every day. It's a new relationship under the conditions and challenges and shlichus of the day, all with one essence, but manifestedly differently, different needs. So now we're already getting the differentiation, the five gvuras of Malchus, which we explained, which you won't repeat now. Now the Rosh Hashanah Dike Chesed is coming. It's mugbal in some kind of definition. Malchus Datzilus. So it's already now coming down to the realm of the recipient in our world, translated in the needs of our world. They should be able to come and nourish and sustain the recipient. It's still transcendent, relatively speaking. But therefore, therefore, a person is judged every day. When he's Shaya, he's going to go to yeshiva today, to Cheder. He's so lucky. Shinyonai, where are we? Sorry. A person is judged every day. How will it come down? What form will it take? I'm is physically on this day. What do you need on this day? Panos, but that's what's needed. It's needed, etc., etc. That's the last two ICS of the Maimon. Why must Ashpa come down here? All the way down here. It's at based on two things. Aleph Torah, because Torah, that's what Torah's mandate is. Torah is about differentiating and separating between holy and not holy. To make distinctions is only this world. Mavdil is in this world. Up there, everything is, even the lowest level of ruchnius, it's all harmonious and fluid, and the borders, there are no borders. No secrets there. That's the first thing. Basically, the varis achitzonius, and the second Torah comes down because the Jew has to elevate. That's anitzutis. I'm sorry. The sparks, shenafla lamata, which fell down here. B'shviris hakelim d'toyu, in the shadowing of the kelim of toyu, as we explained, but generally what that means. Zeh Yegiah Kapecho k'soicha. Zeh Yegiah Kapecho k'soicha. No shine. Yeah, no. Why isn't it going away? Fortunate is the one who eats the toil of his hands. In order that the Ashpa come down in your need today, so aside from you're judged, so you have to ask for it. You have to make the Keli Begashmius. You got to do what's needed for right now in your life. It should not, it's got to be external. Don't get invested emotionally with the depth of your simple language. Don't get invested emotionally. Do what you got to do. Bilvad, not the cup in the heart. Where's your head and your heart in the maamer and in your family? First family, then maamer. It's the idea of Akara, because the whole thing is all part of a shlichus. It's all about bringing godliness to the world, to revealing Hashem in my life, in this place. Basically, parnasa in el lavush b'derech hateva b'vad. The whole parnasa is the garment b'derech hateva in which the Eibishter pours his bracha. And as the Rebbe said, if he does so, then he makes place for the Zibay Hashpah. Doesn't block it with his agenda, which is to mess it up, because that's not why this is happening. So I need you, says God. So make place for me. Be'ez Hashem, tomorrow we start the new maamer.